manager. Then I want to explain the difference between the social media manager, marketer, and engager to you. So as a social media marketer, your responsibility is that if you are working with a company, your responsibility is to sell, is to make sure that that company makes sales. So every strategy you are implementing for the company, the main goal is that the company has to make sales. So as a social media marketer, your responsibility is to run ads, right? Google ad, Facebook ad, TikTok ads, right? And convert these ads into sales, right? So converting the prospects into sales. But for a social media manager, it is quite different, right? So as a social media manager, yours is just to help build a good online reputation for the company. That's your work. Your work is to help build online brand presence reputation for the company. That's your work as a social media manager, right? Then as a social media engager, your own work is to make sure that you are engaging the prospects, right? That's the work of a social media engager, right? So now, but in Nigeria where we find ourselves, not even only in Nigeria alone, in generally all over the world, right? If you are working for a client in Qatar, or you are working for a client in London or UK, right? They are still going to tell you that you will be the one to do the advertising, you will be the one to do the management, and you will be the one to do the engagement, right? Especially if you are working in Nigeria, it is expected as a social media manager to do all those things, right? So you are going to be running the ads, you are going to be engaging the prospects, and you are going to be creating a brand reputation for the company. So a social media manager is to help build company's reputation. That's your work as a social media, right, manager, to help build company's reputation by planning, implementing, managing, and monitoring organization social media strategy. Now, for example, what we mean by this is, let me go into a depth. I want you guys to be clarified about what I've been teaching. So let's do Coca-Cola brand. Coca-Cola Instagram. Yes, yes, yes. Oga, why you dey carry where you dey carry am? You go disturb my class abeg. Oya put am for me. Put am. All right, can you guys see my screen? You can see my screen. I want you to go to chat box and say you can see my screen, please. So your response is very, very important so that I can know if I'm carrying you guys along, please. All right, so this is Coca-Cola social media account. I'm just using the Instagram for example. So they have the community of 3 million followers, right? They are following 264, and they have 47 posts so far, right? This for a Coca-Cola brand. You can see their engagement. So what we call engagement as a social media manager, right, are the likes, the comments, and the shares. That's what is known as engagement. So if someone asks you that how many engagements are you going to be giving to me, right? So what the person is trying to ask you is that the comment, the like, and the share, right, is what is known as engagement. So these are the engagement. Engagement simply means people that are actually interacting with the content you are putting on the brand. So content are videos, images, right, and infographics. So those are what content is all about, right? So I'm gonna be teaching you how you can actually build a brand reputation for a company, right? But I just want you to understand that this is our job, our primary job as a social media manager. So if you're an engager, so these people, this number of people that are liking this particular video and the people that are making these comments, right, are your people that are engaging on your content, right? And you have to be giving them a content that is well engaging, right? So that's what will determine that. That's what your client is going to see that you are actually working as a social media manager. When people can actually reckon with your content, right? So that's what it actually means as a word as a social. So let me just do the whole introduction for you guys. So as a social media manager, it is required for you to know your duties. Right? I've worked in a place before where I don't even know my primary assignment there. Right? So, and when you don't know your primary assignment, when you don't know what you are called to do in a place, it is assumed that they will just throw anything at you and call it your job. Right? So these are the things that is expected of you. These are the things that are required of you to do as a social media. Number one is content management, right? So you are supposed to create the content for your clients, whether image, video, right, or infographics content. We are still going to talk about all these things in the course of this class. I'm going to be teaching you how you can create a image content, video content, and content that can actually be engaging, right? How you can create all this kind of content, whether in video forms or in the image forms, and the tools that you are going to be using to create this content. So I'm going to be teaching you all that. Then the second thing there is you are going to be performing research, right? Research on competitors where you are niching down to. As a social media manager, it is required for you to have a niche. So we have different niche. We have health fitness niche. We have if you want to work with Nigerian clients, we have church as a niche. So there are some church you can pitch to and tell them that you want to be their social media management. And I'll be teaching you how you can submit a juicy proposals to churches that you can actually help them to be their social media manager, right? Imagine you're having like a 5 or 6 or 7 clients in just 1 month that you are working for as a social media manager, and some of them are paying 250K, 150K, right? So you can have 4 clients you are working with. All you just need to do is just to organize yourself. So this is a hot cake course. All you just need to do is calm down, right? If there's anything you don't understand, you can always get my attention. Tell me you don't understand anything, because I want to teach you to succeed, right? And you must be ready to succeed. So I'm going to be teaching you how you can perform research, right? Perform research on. Sorry, that was actually network. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys.
Okay, welcome back.
Okay. All right. Sorry. So I said another thing you'll be doing is you'll be collaborating with other team. So another thing you'll be doing is you'll be collaborating with other teams in a company, right? So you'll be collaborating with other teams in a company, like maybe the graphic designer, maybe their marketer. Can you guys hear me? Hello, can you
Yes, we
guys
can
hear
hear
me?
you.
Yes,
I can hear
yes,
you.
we can.
Yes.
So another thing is you'll be collaborating with other teams in a company. So if a company hire you as a social media manager, right? So they might have other team member, and you need to collaborate with them so that you can actually bring out the best of the strategy you guys are trying to implement in that company. So I'll be teaching you all that. Just need to be calm. I'm just trying to do now is just to make you understand your duties, your work, your responsibility. And it's very necessary for you to understand your responsibility when you are taking this role as a social media manager. Then another thing is I'll be teaching you guys how to design and implement social media strategy. So strategies that you can use to get results for your clients. Because at the end of the day, when someone hire you to work for them, what they are looking for is results. It's the result that will determine whether they are going to pay you the next month, right? So you need to have a strategy you are using that can actually help to close sales for your prospects, right? Then another thing is you need to learn how to set specific objectives and report on ROI. ROI simply means result on investment, right? So we will be teaching you how you can set specific objectives and report on the result on investment. Then the next thing is we'll be teaching you how you can communicate with followers and engage with them. So people are following you on your social media page, whether Instagram, whether Facebook, TikTok, right? So we'll be teaching you how you can communicate with them, right, in order for you to have a good result. Then suggest and implement new features. What is your job as a social media manager if you cannot suggest new things they can implement in a company as a social media manager? So we're going to be teaching you a whole lot of things you can actually help your client to implement as a social media manager. Then trends, how you can stay up to date as a social media manager. These are your duties. So you need to learn all these things, and we are going to be teaching you in this class. So all I just need is your attention and your time. All right. So the percentage of people using social media on a daily basis. What I'm just gonna do, I have a video that I've explained all these things in details, right? But I just want to explain some certain things in depth for you today so that you can understand your role. And when you are watching the videos, you are watching it from the perspective of somebody that actually has a depth of understanding of what we are teaching, right? So this is like a background check. The first social media account we are going to be looking at is YouTube. So YouTube is actually a place where it's a search engine. People go there to learn one or two things. Like you want to learn how to cook fried rice, people go to YouTube to learn how to cook fried rice, how to design on CorelDRAW, how to use AI tools. People go there to ask different questions on how to use different things and all that on YouTube. Then Twitter is like a mini blog. And most of the audience that you are going to be seeing on YouTube, sorry, most of the audience you are going to be seeing on YouTube are audience that are ready to learn. They are ready to learn one or two things, right? So you should know the audience that are likely to be on each of these platforms. So Twitter, right, is actually an account, is a mini blog where people go there to drop write-ups and disagree and agree, right? Most influencers make use of Twitter, right? So Twitter is another major platform for mini blog, and most of the audience that you are going to be seeing there are people who are following a particular influencers, right? So those are the people that you likely will see on Twitter. Then Instagram, these are people that love luxuries, right? So most of the time, the people that you find on Instagram are people that are, and what people do on Twitter, on Instagram is that they share pictures and videos. That's what they do. Short videos and short content about their brand or about their product and services, right? And most of the people you see, most of the audience you see on Instagram are people who actually have an understanding about luxuries. So most of the people you see on Instagram, they love luxuries, right? So you should know. So some of the products that will sell on Instagram are Rolex wristwatches to sell on Instagram, right? Expensive clothes, expensive shoes, they will sell on Instagram because the audience on this platform are ready to make payment to pay for your for product and services. So having an understanding about these platforms is is a plus. So when you are creating a campaign, you know where to channel your energy to, right? You know which of the platforms to use to run the campaign, whether on Instagram, whether on YouTube, whether on Facebook, whether on Snapchat, or whether on TikTok or Facebook, right? So Snapchat, we all know that most of the people who are on these platforms are people who love secret life. So most of their audiences might not rightly buy our product or services, but it's actually still good to utilize such platforms. Then we have TikTok, right? 35% of the people that are on TikTok are teenagers, teenagers that have a low purchasing power, right? So they just go there to catch fun, to catch cruise, and to relate with their classmates, their teammates, and their church mates. Right? Most of the people on TikTok don't really have money to pay because they don't have the decision power. They are just young bunch of teenagers, right? So Facebook is where you find the millennials, right? You find the rich, you find the poor on Facebook, right? It's a good platform to run a campaign, right? So understanding these platforms will help you to know where you can channel your campaign to, right? So in the course of this class, I'm going to be talking deeply on every of these platforms and how you can understand them and understand the algorithm of how it works, right? So I'm just giving you the overview of everything, we are going to be treating in this class. So another thing is that we need to understand that most people who need our services as a social media are other either organization or a brand or an artist or an actor that is ready to build his or her online presence, right? Ready to expose themselves online. Are you getting it? So businesses and organizations understand this. They understand that they need exposure. They need people to know about their product and services. And they don't have time. They have other time to do so many things. They have time to talk to their staff. They have time to do some other things that are choky. Right? People that are going to build product and services. I used to know what that. So they have plenty time trying to figure out a whole lot of things. They don't have time for their online presence. So they would rather employ a social media manager that will help them online. Just think of a pastor that is thinking of preaching to the members. He has a whole lot of things to do. Is it that same person that will be thinking of how to edit videos, put good thumbnails and everything to put on the social media platform? Right? So every of these platforms or every of these brands or these people, they need a social media manager in order to keep their brand presence. So they need someone that can stand in the gap for them, knowing that everybody is actually going online these days, right? And the first person, someone is likely to see you online before they see you on TV these days. Why? Because everybody have access to phones, right? I'm using a phone. My friend here is using a phone. Every other person that you know, they are using a phone, right? So people go on each of these platforms. They go on Facebook, they go on TikTok, they go on Instagram. They want to be seen, but they don't have time to do these things. So it is your job to make sure that they are being recognized online, right? So these are the things you can actually help a business to do online. Number one is to help increase their brand exposure, right? Social media is not just a platform where you make connection with friends and families. Rather, it is more than a platform where you promote your product or services and content, right? Whether you are a person, you are promoting your services, or you are a brand or an organization that are promoting your product, right? So people are likely to trust on a brand with social exposure. So being active on social media platform show the authority of your existence. It increase the brand loyalty. So when a brand has a good online exposure, it is a thumbs up for that brand. It is a plus for that brand. It is said that that brand has what we called people are likely to trust that brand. They are likely to be familiar with such brand because they have exposure, right? Everybody wants exposure these days. Everybody wants people to know their brand. So your job as a social media manager is to help this organization and this brand to create that atmosphere for that exposure, right? So then another thing is that your job as a social media manager is to better the customer experience. Social media is a great platform to connect with customers directly. So this helps in building a trustworthy relationship between a brand and a customer by prioritizing their values. By using the social channels, you can monitor what they want, the problems they are facing, and how you or your products could solve them. So as a social media manager, your job is to better the customer experience, to make sure that customers are turning up for your clients you are working for. or for the brand that you're actually managing, right? So your job is to make sure that the customer has a good, wonderful experience. And I'll be teaching you how you can actually help customers to achieve that, right? So everything you need to do in order to make sure that customers are happy with your brand presence, right? I'm going to be teaching you all that in the course of this um, class. Then another thing is that it increases your footfall or traffic. Social media provide an opportunity for your audience to find your web content and increase the probability to get click through your site, right? If you are a social media manager that understand what you are doing, you will help your clients to have more customers in their physical location. I have helped clients to have plenty customers in their physical location, right? So there was a time I was working for a particular NGO, right? I helped that NGO to raise a whole lot of funds, right? So there are so many things you can actually, they can benefit for you if you understand your job. That's why I don't want you to miss this class for anything. If there's anything that is going to be disturbing you from attending or watching every videos that we are going to be putting out on the LMS, please don't allow anything to discourage you, because those videos are in depth. They are going to be teaching you in depthly, right? So another thing is you improve sales performance. When the online presence is built very well and you build a good brand reputation for your business, you will improve the sales of your clients, and your clients will pay you more, and they want to even to they want to work with you more in future and recommend you to other people, right? So you will help them to improve their sales performance. Then cost effective marketing with good social media strategy, right? Your client do not need to spend money to have result. They don't need to spend a whole lot. So in this class, we are going to be teaching you what is required of you to learn, right? What is required for you to learn that you don't need to be putting your client on pressure to spend plenty money, right? They'll be spending little, but they'll be getting most of the results. All you just need is to understand. Understanding is what you need. Understanding is the factor, right? Ability to reach more people. When your online presence is built very well, you have the liberty to reach more people, right? Wherever they are, whether they're in Lagos, whether in Kaduna, Logoja, Calabar, wherever they are, you have the ability to reach more people with your online presence, right? Social media helps you to reach more people, right? And helping your client to reach more people is one of their utmost priority. That's what they want. So they are looking for someone that can help them to achieve their goal, that can help them to reach more people. I just showed you guys Coca-Cola Instagram page. They've reached 3 million audiences. How did they amass 3 million audience? How did they amass 3 million people? 3 million people that when they put out their products online, these 3 million people will know that they have a product online and they will tell other people. Are you getting my point? So you should understand the importance of creating a community. And I'm going to be teaching you how you can create a community as a social media manager. Right? So I told you earlier that it is very necessary for you to understand each of the platform you are working with, whether it's Facebook, whether it's TikTok, right? And it is very necessary for you to understand how to build an account for each of these pages when you are working for a client. The right thing to do, what are the right steps to take, right? In the course of this class, I'm going to be explaining all that. But During the week, which is on Saturday, where I'll be uploading the videos on the LMS, I'm going to be talking in-depthly on how you can build a page for a client, right? As a social media manager, if you are working for a client or you are working for your businesses, what are the right things to put in places on your Facebook, right? When you are working for a client, right? So these are the major functions of Facebook. Facebook is a versatile platform for sharing text, images, and videos, right? So you want to see beautiful text, you see it on Facebook. You want to see nice images, you see it on Facebook. You want to see videos on reels and stories, you see it on Facebook. So it supports personal profiles, business pages, and groups, right? But if you are working for a client, what you are going to be centering on is the business page. So your center will be on the business page because you are actually working for an organization and their utmost priority is that they want to sell their business. So it supports personal profiles, business pages. So if you are working for a client, the major thing there is that you'll be working with them with a business page. So I'm going to be teaching you how you can create a good, optimized business page, good one for your clients, right? All the things that you need to implement, all the things that you need to put in place, and I'll be teaching you how you can run ads with all this too. So it is very necessary for you to understand that the audience on the Facebook has a broad user base, right? Appealing to people of all ages, well, from 25 years old upward. So, but the most people that are popular on Facebook are the adults with significant presence of users under the age of 25 and older. So it is used for personal connection, news, consumption, and business promotions. So you want to promote your business on you are looking for a place to promote your business or to help a client or a business to business to do their promotion. Facebook is the best platform to do that, right? So you want people to know about a particular brand. Facebook is a good platform to do that. And the audiences that are there has a good conversion rate. What I mean by conversion rate is that they have the ability to buy whatever you are selling as a business person. Right? So another platform is Instagram. All right, so another platform we are going to be exploring is Instagram. Right? The major function of the Instagram is that the Instagram is visually focused. So it's a platform for sharing photos and short videos. So it includes features like the stories, we have the Instagram TV for longer videos, and reels for short form content. So you want to share short form content, you use the reels, right? You want to share the longer videos, you have the Instagram TV. Then you want people who are on your followers to see what is actually going on with your product and your services, you use the stories, right? So it's very important for you to know each function of all these things, right? The stories, the Instagram TV, the reels for short form and all that, right? So the audiences that you will see there are particularly popular among younger demographics, especially those that are aged from 18 to 34. So, and they are used to lifestyle content, visual storytelling, and brand promotion. Influencers and businesses often leverage Instagram for its visual appeal. So you have a client, maybe a business coach, or you have a client who is like a gym coach, teaching people how to keep their body in shape and all that. So the best platform you will sell mostly, right, will be on Instagram, because your audience that you are actually liable to attract are people who enjoyed storytelling, lifestyle, and all that. And these are the people that are likely ready to pay for your services as a gym instructor and all that, right? So, or if you are a brand, you are selling clothes. You are selling clothes, you are sewing clothes, right? The Instagram is the best place to use. And I'm going to give you major niche where you will see clients that can actually pay you, that can pay you awesomely, whether international clients or local clients, right? That can pay you awesome money, right? Then we have the Twitter, right? The Twitter is a microblogging platform, like I said earlier, where users share short text updates. These short text updates are called tweets of up to 280 characters. It also supports multimedia content, including images and videos, right? So the audiences that you see on Twitter is known for real-time information, right? They want news, they want latest things that are trendy, right? They want um, people that are looking for journalists are more likely to sell more on Twitter than influencers, right? Whether you are a sports influencer, whether you are um, a coach and all that. So you sell more on Twitter, right? So most of the time when I'm working on with clients, I've worked with clients on YouTube before. I worked with clients which the major platform I was using for the clients was on Twitter, because you need to understand your client. I'm going to do a case study for most of all these brands so that you can understand which content and which platform will be very, very nice and you need to put your focus on when you are working with a client, right? So I'm going to be doing, there's a video for that, so you have access to it, right? So, but this is just the foundation. So you have a YouTube platform also. YouTube is a video sharing platform, so where users upload and watch a wide range of content. It supports blogs, tutorials, entertainment, and more. Right? The audience on YouTube has a broad audience spanning various age groups. It is popular for educational content, entertainment, and product reviews. So creators, businesses, and influencers use YouTube for video marketing. So I'm going to be teaching you how you can use YouTube for your video marketing also, right? So the benefits, what and what you need to do, how you can close client on YouTube, what you can tell to a client, right? There are so many clients on YouTube you can pitch to. What you can tell them in order for them to work with you, and what you'll be doing for them as a youth, as a social media manager. We are going to be discussing all that in this class. Then, one important thing I call the most important concept as a social media manager is for you to know what branding is all about. And that's what we are going to be doing class, right? So I'm going to be teaching you what branding is all about. So in this class, we're going to be delving deeply into what branding is all about. So branding is a comprehensive concept that encompasses the image, the perception, and the reputation of a company, product, service, or individual. It goes beyond just a logo or a tagline. It involves everything, interaction and communication that a brand has with its audience. So when we are talking about branding, we are not, your logo is not your brand. The fact that you have a tagline, that's not what a brand is. Let me give you an example of what I mean. So I'm going to be using Nike as our case study. So when you know, when I'm talking about branding, you understand what I mean, right? So this is a Nike, this is their logo. Everybody knows Nike logo. And their tagline is let's do it. So anywhere we see something like this, we assume that this is Nike. Let me specify it. Let me specify it. Let me narrow it down to logo. Everything has been updated.
Okay. Eh? In this world,
You guys should hold on a little bit. My network, I'm trying to hold it so that you guys can understand my explanation better.
Mama, penso que ela começou a
All right, so this is
like,
this is actually Nike logo. So you will see their tagline is let's do it. So, but the logo does not mean that that is what people are actually buying. The people are buying so many things. They are buying the perceptions, they are buying the motivation that Nike is actually giving to them, right? So I have a detailed explanation on this, but I'll still give you, oh, my network is unstable. What is this? So people are actually buying the emotions that these people are selling. So Nike will tell you that let's just do it. Just do it means that they are motivating you. They are not selling the product to you, but they are selling what they will do with you. Right? They are trying to motivate you to achieve your goals. Right? So you see another case study of McDonald's. Right? Another case study of McDonald's. Right? McDonald's are not selling, it's not the logo that they are selling to you. They are selling a perception, right? They are selling what they would like to achieve with their customers, right? So their tagline here is, I'm loving it. right? And their main vision is to sorry, the network is actually okay. So their main vision is to help people all over the world, right? When it comes to anything food.
Please, that person should
Please, if you are online, please you can
unmute.
mute.
Person should mute.
Please mute.
Oh,
All right, so sorry for sorry now the class. Sorry guys. Sorry, I just have a little. Sorry guys, please, I'm very, very sorry. So, where we stop. So I'm talking about McDonald's, right? So McDonald's, you can see their tagline here is "I'm loving it," right? But that's not actually what they stands for. So they stand as one of the world's most recognized brands, serving millions of customers daily across the globe. So his story is not just one of fast food, but their branding is to the value of their brand is to initiate support to the workforce, right? So they want everybody to have access to good food. Are you getting it? And their tagline is actually talking about it. I'm loving it. Are you getting it? So this is what one of the, so if you see some of their advert is going to be showing food. If I show you McDonald graphics now, you see All right, so this is what their branding is all about, right? You can say there's a picture loading and I want to. So their branding is all about so many things. Number one, they want to make sure that the food is accessible to everyone. So that's all about their branding. Their offer is that don't worry, the food will get to you at your doorstep, right? So that's how they want people to perceive them. They want to perceive them that even at the comfort of your home, you can have access to them, right? And you have access to good food. So that's what their branding is all about. So somebody is thinking of McDonald's, the first thing that comes to mind is good food. It's not about the logo. The logo is just what comes along with the brand itself. When you're talking about brand, when you're talking about branding, branding is a whole lot. Branding comprises the logo, branding comprises the perception, how you want people to feel when they think about your brand, or when they think about your product, or when they think about your services, right? So when somebody thinks about Gucci wear, right, the person is thinking about luxury, right? So the perception, how you want your audience to feel, that's what branding is all about. What you want your audience to feel when you are actually talking about your product and your services. That's what branding is all about. So when we talk about, also when we are talking about Nike, we are talking about good quality shoes, right? We are not talking about good quality shoes that athletes are using, because most of the times they sell most of these products to us using the influencers to sell it to us. So now when you are thinking about Nike, you are thinking about you are thinking about luxury, and you are thinking about durable shoes. Are you getting it? So how you want your prospects to perceive you, right? That's what branding is all about. So you see some people, they want to create a product online. They want to start selling something online. They don't create a perception for themselves. Do you want to be perceived as a high value product, or do you want to perceive as just an affordable product, or you just want to be perceived as a common product, right? So you need to brand yourself. So this branding comes all in different forms, in the color of the text you are using, the way you present your product and your services, right? The logo you are using, everything comes, the strategy, the brand strategy itself, everything comes along with what is called branding. So the logo, the tagline are what we know as the branding identity, right? So what we know as the branding identity, while the branding strategy is the overall game plan of how you want your audience to perceive you when they are thinking of your product. So sometimes I want to work for a client. The first thing I ask them is that, how do you want to be perceived? How do you want your audience to perceive you, right? What kind of a coach are you? What kind of a gym instructor are you? What kind of a pastor are you? Are you a pastor that stands for healing? Because when we are creating your brand your brand presence, right? Everything that is going to be told about your brand are going to be healing. You doing miracles. I don't know whether you guys knew when Pastor Chris came to town, like when people begin to start recognize Pastor Chris. We all know Pastor Chris as a healing pastor, right? He created a brand around healing, right? So if you want to advertise Pastor Chris that year, you will see a lot of people falling down, catching anointing. Are you getting it? That's the perception. So people who have not seen Pastor Chris before, they have it at the back of your mind that when you go to this church, this man does healing. He's a man that stands for healing. And that's the same thing when we talk about branding, right? How do you want to be known for, right? Pastor Oyedepo, for example, I'm using pastors because sometimes one of the people you might likely have the opportunity of working for are pastors, right? I've I've helped so many prominent pastors to create a good brand reputations online, right? So I'll tell them, what do you want to be known for? What do you want to be stand for? Pastor Oyedepo, knows him as a faith pastor. So when it comes to the area of faith, he functions in that area very well. That's what the people knows him for. So what do you want to be known for as your brand? What do you want to be identified with? What do you want your audience to know you for? And when you are creating branding, it's not about you, right? Because a lot of people think that branding is all about them. No, it's not about me. It's all about my audience, my target audience, the people that I'm thinking of reaching out to, the people that I want to reach out to with my product and my services. What do I want them to know me for? Right? So that's what we know as what branding. And it is very, very important for you as a social media manager to understand the core intent of what branding is all about. Right? So how to craft a good branding for your audience. I'll be teaching you the steps and everything it takes. So that when you're dealing with clients, you tell them, this is what I'm going to be doing for you. Right? And they know that, oh, this is actually what is required. And this is what I need. This is what is my brand needs. So just like I said earlier, we have branding identity and we have branding strategy. So when we are talking about branding strategy, we are referring to the overarching plan approach that a company or organization develops to create, build, and manage its brand. So the primary purpose of branding strategy is to define how the brand will position itself in the market, how people can differentiate the brand from its competitors, and create value for its target audience. Do you see what I'm talking about here? So the overall game plan as a brand strategy, when you're doing a branding strategy for a client, is so that people can be able to differentiate you from every other of your competitors. We have comedians, and some of these comedians have their own branding. When you see Sabinos, you know that you are going to ever see him with blue shirts and a black trouser. That's his brand, and a small tie. And he has a word that he says. When you see something like photo, you know that that's talking about Sabinos. Are you getting it? There is another guy that is always wearing agbada, right? And he's always spending money lavishly to women online. That's his brand. As I'm saying it now, a lot of people know. I want to know if people know what I'm trying to talk about. So go to the chat box and tell me who I'm talking about. So this man that wears agbada, right? And he's always doing transfer to women online. He's a comedian. Do you know who I'm talking about? Go to the chat box. I want to know if you guys are with me or you guys are understanding what I'm saying. All my plenty English. I want to know if you guys understand me. Nobody is answering me. Oh. Am I talking to myself? Hey, nobody's answering me. Oh.
We are typing.
Obeng, Usoroma. No, please. I just asked a question now. Nobody's answering me. Oh yeah, if you want to unmute, raise up your hand. Let me unmute you. If you cannot type, we are not going to move forward though. If you guys are starting this class like this, it's supposed to be two-way interaction. Oh. Are you guys sleeping? Nedu, not Nedu. No commented. That's Mr. Macaroni. That's Mr. Macaroni. So Mr. Macaroni, you will see him wearing his agbada. Every of the content you see, you must see him. That's his brand identity. That's what he wants to be known for. Right? So it's not about the logo of Mr. Macaroni. We all know that Brother Shaggy has his own logo. Right? Hello, hello, how is you? That's his brand identity. That's the things that actually associate with everything that comes with his brand. Right? So you can see that people will be able to differentiate you from your competitor when you have a brand. If people are looking for pastors now that are in the line of faith, the first thing that comes to mind is Bishop Oyedepo, and you mentioned some other pastors also, right? So something that differentiates you from your competitors, that's branding, right? That's branding strategy. So you should have a branding strategy, right? So as a social media manager, you create a brand strategy for your clients. So a branding strategy typically includes elements such as the target audience definition, the brand positioning, the messaging, the brand architecture, if applicable, the competitive analysis, and the channels of communication. Right? Flexibility. Branding strategy may evolve over time in the response to changes in the market consumer preferences. Right? So having that understanding of what branding strategy is very important. Then branding identity. Brand identity refers to the tangible elements that collectively represent the brand's visual and the verbal expression. It is how the brand presents itself to the world. So when we are talking about branding identity, we are talking about how the brand presents itself to the world, right? So we are talking about the image, the colors, the design palette, the tagline, the visual, the verbal language used in communication, all that. So those are the things that comes with brand identity. So the purpose of brand identity is to create recognition, differentiation, and emotional connection with the target audience. So consistency in brand identity is crucial to reinforce brand recognition and build trust among customers. Right? So you need brand strategy. Branding strategy is the overall plan. Branding strategy is the things that comes with it. The style, the tagline, the image, the font you are using for your typing, right? You can see the font the McDonald's use. McDonald's use M, right? That's their font, right? So you should have an identity that is actually. Then we have the brand DNA. The brand DNA refers to the core essence and the fundamental characteristics that defines a brand identity and distinguish it from competitors. It encompasses the brand's values, the mission, the vision, the personality, and the positioning and unique attributes. Think of the brand DNA as a genetic code or blueprint that shapes everything about the brand, from its product or services to its communication style and consumer experience. So there's something we call the brand DNA. The brand DNA is what does the brand stands for. Remember I told you that when you are doing your branding, it's not about you, it's about your audience. How do you want your audience to perceive you? So when know that you are working on a vision, you are working on a mission, there is a value you want to achieve with your prospects, with your audience. There's something you want to achieve with them. Look at Nike. Nike wants to motivate their audiences to action. They want to motivate their audiences to success. That's the goal they intend to achieve. Sorry, I have a call there. I have to tell the person I'm in the class. So your brand DNA refers to the core essence. Why do you start the product in the essence, in the first place? Sorry. So is it your brand DNA is the core essence? Why do you start the business in the first place? Carry your customers along. Carry your audience along. The reason why you start your business, the reason why you are doing what you are doing. Take them through the journey. Take them through the journey so that they can actually reckon with you. They can know what you are doing. That, oh, this is what this person is trying to achieve. So a storyline, who is this person writing on my? So making sure that you are carrying your client along. Sorry, I say client, your audience along, letting them know what your mission is, what is your values, what are your values, what are the things you believe in. Amazon says that they have every product A to Z, right? They said they have all the products you are looking for in this life, right? And they one of their core values is that they are, wherever you are in the whole wide world, they will get your product across to you. That's what they stand for, right? So what is that thing that your brand stands for? Or what is that thing that your client brand stands for? Those are the things you need, because those are the things that is going to help you to put out the kind of content you'll be putting on the platform. What is that thing that the brand is standing for? So if you are working for a pastor, for example, I don't know why I'm using pastor as my case study, because maybe because I've worked with so many pastors doing their brand awareness, helping their social media presence. So if you are working for a pastor, for example, right, and the pastor is focusing on making sure that people understand what faith is all about, right? And the mission is to make sure that people are believing in God, His word, and what God's value stands for. So if it is a pastor that believes in faith, all the content you are going to be putting on the platforms, whether on Instagram, whether on Twitter, whether on Facebook, are going to be content that are that are compatible with faith. So the thing you are going to be projecting out to people is faith, faith, faith. So people are going to be, more of what people are going to be seeing about your messages are messages of faith. Most of the testimonials, most of the testimony of people that they are going to be putting on your pages are the testimony of people that listen to your messages and faith grew up in them and they achieve what they tend to achieve. Are you getting it? So what does your brand stands for? What are the values? What are the mission? What are the personality, right, that your brand stands for? Remember that when you're working for a brand, which I'm still going to talk more maybe in our next class, I'm still going to talk about, there are different types of brands. We have branding for organization, we have brand for a personality, right? So under personal branding, that's where we have the coaches, we have maybe you are talking to a football coach, you are working with a client who is a football coach, or you are working with a client who is a gym instructor. These are personal branding, right? So there is something they stands for. So your brand DNA asks your client, what do you stand for? And explain to them about what brand DNA is all about, what you are trying to achieve with them. In short, the moment you begin to talk about brand DNA, brand identity, they begin to understand that, wow, this person actually knows what he's doing and he knows the kind of content we are expecting him or her to put out there in order for our prospects or our clients to reckon with. I hope you are enjoying this class. If you are not enjoying the class, please go to the chat box, or you are having a challenge, or you are finding it difficult to understand what I've been teaching since morning. You can just go to the chat box and tell me, I don't understand Shindai. I don't understand anything. I'm still going to, I can always come down to your level. If I'm too fast, let me know. Please go to the chat box. I'm too fast. I don't understand you. Ari says he came late, or is it he or she? Okay, someone like Unsoroma said, someone like Unsoroma said, she's enjoying the class. Any other person have a complaint, please let me know while we move forward, or you're having any issues, right? So I already have a videos I've actually created down for you guys to help you, to facilitate your journey. So just like for some of you that are just joining us now, let me explain how the sequence of the class is going to go. So I'll be dropping five videos on our LMS, so our learning management system, right? Five videos for you to consume every week. Then we'll be having Thursday class like this, where I'll be teaching you guys more in-depthly about the videos that we are dropping. And if you have a question, you can always bring the question to the class to understand better, right? So every of these things that I'm teaching here, I have them in the video already, but I just want to do a background introduction for you guys, right? So the videos are going to be dropping on Saturday on the learning management system, and I'll be giving you access. And I'll be giving you access to the videos. Don't worry, I got you guys. So if you are not understanding the class, or you are not getting anything from this class, please, this is an introductory class. So we are not doing much practical yet, but we are still going to do a whole lot of practical. But how do you understand what we are practicalizing if you don't understand the theory? So by the time I'm moving one step, you understand what I'm doing. So if I talk about branding identity, you understand what I mean by branding identity. If I talk about branding strategy, you have an understanding of what I mean by branding strategy. And if I talk about brand DNA, you should have an understanding of what I mean by brand DNA. So I'm trying to introduce everyone to the class. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you're not enjoying it, get my attention. My goal is to make sure that we all succeed together. At the end of this class, I want to have a lot of testimonies of people having jobs, or people pitching to international clients, people pitching to Nigerian clients that are ready to pay them. I have a lot of testimonies of people that have taught and they've done so well with this course. And I believe I can do the same thing with you guys also. So all I just need is your attention and your dedication. And if it's anything you are not understanding, please always get my attention. My priority here is to teach you to understand and to make money with what you are teaching, and what I am teaching, sorry. So that's it. So brand journey. So I've not had any bad comments. I assume that everybody is understanding this class. But if I'm having a bad comment, let me know now before we move forward. Right? If I'm too fast, let me know if I'm too fast. If you are finding it difficult to get me, let me know. If you are finding it difficult to get me, or my analogy, you are not getting my analogies, let me know. We have a long way to go. We have 10 weeks to go. and we are just in week 1. So before we embark on this journey now, let me know the method I'll be using. If I'm too fast, tell me I'm too fast. If I'm too slow, tell me I'm too slow. All right. Please, I need that review. It's very, very important. Right? So the values. So if you're working on a brand DNA for a client, you need to ask them what are your values, your principles. What are the principles that guide the brand's actions and decisions? Values that reflect what the brand stands for and what it believes in. Right? So for Nike, they believe in motivating people. They want to motivate their audience. Right? And their mission statement outlines the brand's purpose, the reason for existence. Right? So this is what comes about our existence. This is what we see. This is what we see. We saw that. Let me give you an example of Kuda. When Kuda started taking over the internet space, let me tell you what they did differently to stand out among every other banks, right? So they realized that the bank industry is filled up. So we have the GT Bank, we have the UBA, we have the Sky Bank, we have all the old banks, right? So they came up with a new strategy, and they said their branding around their bank is that they are doing their bank of the free. I don't know, maybe you've seen that. So they come out with a tagline. They said their bank for the free. And a whole lot of people started using Kuda because Kuda promised that they are bank of the free. Free transactions, free charges and all that. You don't need money to register, you don't need money to get your card, everything was free. And that was what they used in getting their customers. Are you getting it? So they came with the mission that they want to help Nigerians from paying excess money to all these banks. You want to register for a bank now, they will tell you to deposit a so amount of money. But Kuda will tell you that you should come, that you don't need a dime to register with their bank. So they did something different in order to penetrate into the market. So these are the things you ask. If you are working for an organization, what are the mission? What are the values? So the vision statement describes the brand's long-term aspiration and goals. It paints a picture of the future that the brand tries to create and serve as a guiding line to its strategic direction, right? So there should be a vision where the brand is going to, what they intend to do in the nearest future. And these are all the things that comes with the brand identity and the brand strategy. So if you get this right, you'll be able to approach your target audience very, very right. So another thing is story. Every brand has a story that communicates its heritage, its values, and journey. The brand stories help to create emotional connection with consumers and fosters loyalty and affinities to the brand. So the brand must have a story. So the story that connects your audience, there must be an emotional connection, right? So I think Fearless, they wanted to sell their product, right? They started talking about how people will go to work on a daily basis and they will be stressed out. That's the communication. And they can drink Fearless in order to boost up their energy. Are you getting it? That's a story that actually complements what their brand is all about. So there must be an emotional connection. There must be something you are trying to achieve with the audience, and you tell it with a story in order for your audience to be able to communicate, right? Lucozade Boost did the same thing, right? They are trying to sell their products. They even created an impression of a cheetah running after a man. That when you drink Lucozade Boost, you will have the energy to be faster than a cheetah. That's the emotional connection between their product and their audience, right? Trying to tell their audience that my branding is all about this. This is what my branding is all about. Are you getting my point? So there must be a story that talks about your brand, what your brand is standing for, what your brand is all about, right? So there must be a story that connects you and your audience. Then the next thing we have is visual identity. So the visual identity are the element as logo, the color palette, the typography, the imagery, the design style, right? That's the visual identity. So you have a story about your brand, what you are trying to connect with your brand, right? The picture you are trying to paint in order for your audience to understand you, right? Then there must be a visual identity that goes along with it. And when we're talking about this visual identity, we are talking about the logo, we are talking about the choice of color you are using in selling this your brand. We are talking about the font, that's the typography, the font you are using in order to sell this your brand, the visual representation of this your brand. Then we have what is called the brand promise. What does your brand promise to do in the life of people? Right? There must be a promise that you are making to your audience. Right? So Nike promised that they are going to help their customers to get through to the end of the tunnel. They are going to help their customers to achieve whatever they want to achieve in life. That's the promise. McDonald's promised that they are going to give good food. That's the promise, right? So a coach instructor can promise that they are going to give you fitness. That's a promise. A fitness and a training that you cannot get anywhere else. That's the promise. So there must be a promise. Jumia can promise that they will be giving their prospects, sorry, not their audience. I don't know why prospect is too much in my mouth. Maybe because I love prospect a lot. So their brand promise. So your brand promise can be that you want your customers to, if they patronize you, they are going to get free shipping for every product they buy from you. That's a promise. So your promise can even that you are promising your client or your audience an excellent product, a product that is going to give them the value they are actually looking for. That's a promise. So you must have a promise that you are actually giving out to your audience, right? So you ask your clientele, what is the promise? What is the thing that you are promising your 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 prospects, right? What are that thing that you are promising them? Are you promising them quality product? Are you promising them excellent service? Are you promising them good experience? What are the things that you are promising them? So you must have a brand promise, what you want to achieve with your brand. So I said brand identity versus brand strategy. So the brand strategy here, the brand identity are your logo, your name, your color, and the typeface, right? Your brand strategy are the offering, the competitor analysis, the customers, your purpose, of why you are in the business of what you are doing, right? That's your brand strategy, right? So this is the brand identity for Amazon. Amazon, their branding is A to Z. What this A to Z that you are seeing there means A to Z. What they are trying to say is that Amazon has every product you are looking for A to Z, right? FedEx has a brand promise. Their promise is that they are going to deliver your product to you wherever you are. Fed Express. So wherever you are, that's the promise that they are giving. That's what their brand promise. Wherever you are going to get your product. So they have their own promise. So you need to have all these things put into together. And I'm going to be doing a case study of McDonald's. Right? So when McDonald's started, their mission is to make delicious food and to make people feel good moments. Right? To feel good moments, make people feel good moments. They want everybody to have a feeling of good movement for everyone. Right? So they said they serve delicious food and feel good with convenient location, affordable prices. Right? These are their statements. These are what they want to achieve with this product. Right? We serve moments of feel good. They want prospects to have a good personality, right? They want their prospects or they want their audience to feel good when they eat their food. That's what they want to achieve. And they want to serve delicious food. Not only serving delicious food, what they are trying to promise you that is that you can get delicious food at an affordable price. That's their promise. Their mission is to give you good food at the expense of what? Serving you delicious food. Not there, they are still promising that they are giving you what? Affordable prices. And they are not even stopping there. They said wherever you are, they can deliver that product to you. That is what they enter the market with. That's their mission. That's what they are working with. So when we are working with the client, the same thing you ask, what are your mission? What do you want to achieve with your community? How do you want to serve the people? How do you intend to serve your people? What are the things you want to do to serve your people? Are you getting it? What are those things you want to do to serve them? Right? So those are the things we are going to be looking at in the course of this class. Right? So this class is going to be, we are going to be looking at so many brands, personal brand, organization brands, product brands. We are going to be looking at this brand, we are going to be studying them, and we are going to be looking at how they penetrate into market, right? So understanding how these brands penetrate into market will help us when we are working for a particular client or we are working for an organization that required our services. We will know which strategy to apply in order to serve them better, right? So these are all the things we are going to be putting together, right? And we're going to be teaching you how you can get followers, right? How you can get much followers, not paid followers you buy with robot. I'm talking about organic followers. How you can get organic followers with your content. What are those things you can do that can make you to get organic content? And the niche you are going to be focusing on when you are actually starting your own journey as a social media manager, right? So we have different paying niche. We have the health niche, we have the relationship niche, we have the money making niche, right? We have different niche that you can venture into as a social media manager. So you need to niche down to a particular niche. That okay, I want to focus on health, right? So the people that you are going to be managing their account for are the people that are in the area of health, or you want to focus on people that are in relationship, right? So the people that you are going to be channeling your energy on are the people that are actually into the area of relationship, and the things that you can do that you can help them to build a good online reputation for their brand, right? So these are all the things you are going to be doing in the course of this, classes that we are going to be having in few weeks, right? And I promise you, if you guys stay with me from the beginning of this class to the end, your life will never remain the same, right? I promise you that. I owe you that. That your life will never remain the same, right? I've earned money in dollars, I've earned money in naira, right? Doing these things, and I'm going to be teaching you what I have been doing, how I've been doing it, and how you yourself can do it. I've taught a whole lot of people to make money with it, and how you yourself can do it to help either your brand or to help other organizations you are actually going to be working with. So this is where we are going to be drawing our curtain for today's class. Today's class is just an introductory class, and I promise I'll be dropping you videos every week, five videos every week. So it's a challenge. So the first video will be day 1. It can be for Monday. Second video can be for day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, right? And if you implement everything that are on that videos, I promise you, you are going to get, you are the next millionaire in town. I'm telling you. As a social media manager, it is all about your capabilities, right? You can be working with 5 clients that are paying you 200K. That's 1 million. In short, if you have 2 clients that can pay you 200K, it's enough, right? All you just need to do is know what to do. And you can work remotely. You can work at the comfort of your house. I'm going to be teaching you the tools that you are going to be using to work, right? And how you can submit proposal to clients in order to get more jobs. This course, you are going to get value more than what you pay for. I promise you, right? So this is where we are going to be dropping our curtain for this class. I promise on Saturday, just drop your email, drop it on the group, and you'll be added to our learning management system. And I'll be teaching you how you can have access to the videos that are on the platforms, and you can start watching all the videos that are there. So if you have any question for today's class, please, or you have any questions you want to ask, please, you can go to the chat box and ask me your question, or you raise up your hand, I'll unmute you and you ask your question. Anybody has a question? Question. No, I have a question. I have a question for you. Question time. If you are not asking me question, I will assume that you people don't understand anything. Ask me question, or I'll ask you question. Ifoma, Okpara, are you there? Unmute. Ifoma, Okpara, can you please unmute? Ifoma, is Ifoma there? Ifoma, hey, these people, they be ghosts? I no dey hear anybody voice. Ifoma, you say what? Okay, Mr. Ben, you have a question.
Not not today. Today, I understand everything you have said so far.
Okay. So what's your question?
Myself, well, until I start going through the videos you promised, then if I have any, I will be asking whenever we have a class.
Okay. All right, no problem. Another person has a question. Informa, do you have a question? Iris. Unsoruma. Obeng. All right, in the
Hello?
absence of, okay, I think
I
someone
don't
is.
have a question, but I think you
That's
should
what I
give us the
want.
review of this.
Okay, you said what?
Hello?
Okay, I can hear
I
you.
don't have question, but you can give us the review of this webinar.
All right. So the video of this class, I'm going to send it to the group in order for you
Okay,
to go
that's fine.
through it. Then
Yeah.
other videos will be dropped on Saturday. Drop your email so that you can be added to the LMS, the learning management system. And videos that are going to be dropped on that LMS are five videos every week. You consume them, you come to class on Thursday and ask your questions concerning any of the topics so far or any of the days so far. The challenges you are having, the questions you want to ask, you can always ask them, right? So are we together?
Yes.
Right. So in the absence of nobody asking any other question, please, I will end this class now. Please, I'm begging you. This class promise 100% guarantee. If you don't joke with it, don't allow your village people allow you to joke with this course. I know what I am saying, right? Someone was just telling me about someone that just got an offer. A student, one of my students that just got an offer as a social media manager working for a particular church. And in that church, he has another recommendation in the same church. About 5 persons recommended him to work for them, right? So you have a lot of opportunities, and I don't want you to. So if you have any questions or you are not, drop it at the group, not here. If you're drop the mail at the group, not at this place.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, please don't joke with this class. And when the videos are out, attempt to watch them. Don't let me be pursuing you. Your zeal and your motivation is what is going to drive me, right? To teach you what I ought to teach you. But if you guys are too rigid, you are not flexible, you are not assimilating, we might not achieve our results. But I believe that we are going to achieve what we are here for, right? So thank you for your time. I really appreciate you guys for coming around. Please, you can go to the chats, to the WhatsApp group, tell everyone who are not here that we had a lovely and wonderful class. This class was lovely, but the videos will do the explanatory better. And I believe that when you sit down and watch the videos, you will get value for everything. So we are in the week 1, and this week 1, what we are going to be doing mostly are introduction. Introduction, we are going to be introducing you to the platforms, how you can create pages on these platforms, or what are the things to do, what are the things that are required for you to do, how you can create a brand and everything. So those are the videos you are going to be having on the first 2 weeks of this class. All right, thank you very much. Have a lovely night rest. Good night.
Right.